Hello, welcome back to my channel and to another edition of Ask Elle Anything. I've officially changed the name from Ask Elle Anonymously to Ask Elle Anything because Ask Elle Anonymously just doesn't sound very good. So I decided to change it. Yeah, it's the same initials, same basic letters, it's pretty much the same, so don't worry about it. So as you can see, this week I've got a little bit of a nicer setup than normal. I've got a microphone here, which I'm going to start using in all my videos, hopefully. This week I'm going to be answering a question that I found very interesting, that is kind of a unique question I haven't seen a lot of other people ask. I was wondering if you could talk about at what point you feel your detransition will be over/complete. Is there an endpoint at all, or do you feel that it's over already? And I think that is so interesting. I think that is a really good question to ask for other people who are considering detransitioning, and just in general for people who, don't know anything about the subject, haven't experienced it, and even for people who have experienced it, I think it's a good question. So, because obviously it's individual, it's going to be different for everyone. So for me, I am coming at this as the perspective of someone who never had any surgeries. There's different aspects of it that I think are important to highlight for me. So the medicalization of detransition is something that's very unique for every detransitioner. For me, I kind of see it as a similar process because I have to get my name legally changed. I have to get my sex legally changed because I did that when I was 17, even without having any surgeries. So I have to get it changed back to female. That's a legal process that I have to go through. I have to change all of my documents, my driver's license, my passport, my birth certificate, my social security card. I have to change all of those things to my new name and my new sex, or my new sex, my real sex, I should say. So yeah, I have to change all of those documents, and I feel like as long as those are part of my life, like day to day, like on my credit card, on my driver's license, I feel like I'm still going to feel kind of incomplete as far as my detransition goes, because having all those documents still say my old name, still say male, it is very weird and uncomfortable for me, just because I've had to use my old name even just recently, to sign my apartment lease. They haven't met me, and so I don't know what they're gonna expect when they see me. I don't know. It's really weird, and I still feel weird enough about my appearance at this point that I kind of feel like androgynous, and I feel like it's okay to go either way, but I would just prefer to have all of my documents changed already so that I don't have to think about it like that anymore. So that's the first thing that I want to have done. I just want to have all my documents changed back. Legally, that would make things so much less complicated and annoying. And as far as actual medical procedures, I think the biggest thing that I want to get done is I just want to have all my facial hair removed. And this isn't even something every detransitioner does, and I'm sure a lot of detransitioners didn't even grow enough facial hair, no offense, to get it removed. But I had so much. I had a full beard. I had full sides of the face beard. I need to get it all removed to be comfortable for myself, so I don't have to shave, so I don't have stubble I consider that part of like the detransition process for me. And I think the last and the biggest thing will probably be my voice, uh, because I don't know what I'm gonna do about it specifically. If I'm gonna try to do it myself, if I'm gonna hire someone or to help me, or if I'm just gonna sing, or if I'm just gonna like let it do what it does. I'm gonna try and do something about it probably soon. I don't know. Um, Maybe, I don't know. I still am thinking about getting my Adam's apple shaved because that's just like one thing that I'm like, I could do something about this. It's pretty non-invasive. I've done some research into it. There's very little complications. There are complications, which is the thing I hesitate about because it is part of me now, and it is like it's just part of my body. Uh, but it is something that does like bother me when I look at myself, and it is something I could do something about. I just kind of think about when I'm like 70 years old, I'm gonna have the exact same throat that I have now. So when I'm 70 years old, am I gonna regret shaving my larynx down because it's gonna be hard to swallow or something? I don't really know. I don't know if that's a thing. I haven't like looked into it enough. But I do worry about like, oh, is it gonna affect the way I swallow like when I'm an old person? Because I already permanently did this to myself. Like, this is a permanent change. This is how my throat's gonna be forever. So it is like in its own way kind of natural to my body because it happened from hormones that I injected into myself, but it is the way that my body grew. So it's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I haven't really decided, and I have a lot of body hair, which is like not. It's like probably the least big deal of everything that I like am worried about. But I have so much body hair still everywhere, on my legs, on my butt, on my stomach, on my chest even. I get hair. It's not that much. Like, you can't really see it, but it's there, and you can feel it, and you can see it if you get up close to it. And I don't know, like, it's not a big deal, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, but it does just kind of annoy me because I'm like, this wasn't something I had before, and it's there, and it bothers me kind of. And I have a lot of hair even just like on my hands, like, and my knuckles. I don't know, like, it's just, I look like an old man with all of my body hair. Not really, but yeah, I don't know. It just kind of annoys me. But it's like, it's not a big deal. And so I don't want to just like go get laser hair removal on my entire body. Like, that seems ridiculous. No offense if you've ever done that. I don't know. I don't think I don't know. Because I always get torn between like, okay, part of the detransitioning process is loving and accepting my body, loving and accepting myself for who I am. But then also part of the detransitioning process is coming to terms with all of the mental fucking illness that I was afflicted by, like what made me do this, and realizing where all this comes from and everything, why I wanted to change my body, and like doing all of that introspection. And there's like a balance between like what would like make me happy because I'm changing my body, and what would make me happy because I am trying to go back to a natural state. Like, there's a lot of conflict between like the two like ways of thinking about it, I think. So it's like hard. So is there an endpoint? I want to answer that part. I think there is an endpoint. So for me, I think it's going to be when I am first, like, I think the first milestone for me is going to be getting all my legal documents changed back. That was the first thing I wanted to do when I was trans. And I think that's going to be a big step for me to just be like, okay, I can live a mostly normal life. Like, maybe some people will notice like a few physical reminders that I have of the testosterone if they ever get to know me. But like day to day, I'll be able to just be like, okay, I have a driver's license with the right name. I have a credit card with the right name. Like, it'll just be less annoying. So I think that'll be the first like big milestone, and I'll feel differently about it by then, where I'll be like, this is a good like big mark of the end of my detransition. And I do think once I get all my facial hair removed, once I'm not growing that anymore, maybe once I just overall become more comfortable with my body and the way that I look, the way that I can interact with people, I think that'll be the big thing. And overall, just feeling comfortable and confident in myself. And I think that will come with time. I don't think there's much that I can really do to speed that up. Changing my body to get there to that point will just be superficial, and it won't actually work. I'll always just find something else to fixate on if I do it that way. So it's like giving myself time to think, to process. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a long time. My body's going to take a long time to adjust back to the right hormones and everything. And I think there will be a time when my body and my brain will mix in just the right way, and I'll come together and I'll be like, I feel confident. I feel comfortable. My detransition is part of me, but it is mostly past. And honestly, this is happening way quicker than I thought it would, because I foresaw that would happen maybe in a few years. When I first detransitioned, I was like, maybe in like a year or two at least. Like, it will be a long time before I even feel comfortable with myself, or like even like meeting people. But it is happening so much faster for me than I thought it would. Like, I'm not even a year detransitioned from day one of stopping hormones, and I already almost feel completely comfortable back to normal most days. Like, even just the past month, I've gotten so much better, and I think it's just gonna snowball from here, because I have like a plan for my future right now. Like, I have ideas of what I'm doing with my life, and having all that stuff planned out for like another year, it makes me look forward to the future so much more. It makes me like look forward to things and fixate less on like myself. So I think, yeah, there will be a point pretty soon, I think, where I can just sit back and be like, look at all this stuff that I've done during my detransition, and now it's not so big of a deal. It's not such a huge part of my life. It's not everything. I'm already kind of there, to be honest. And mentally, I'm getting a lot better. Like, it's improved so much in the past month. So, yeah, it's like night and day, honestly. And it's just going to get better, I feel. Like, it's just going to get better. But do I think it's over already? I don't feel it's over. I do feel like there's more I have to do. Just overall, I think by the end of this year and into 2021, I think I'll feel worlds better about myself. That'll be like a year and a half almost. I think I'll feel like insanely better. Like, I think I'm going to be at a point where I don't even really think about the detransition anymore. I think I'm going to be at a point where like I don't even really have to talk about it anymore. I don't know. I feel like it's just not going to be as big of a deal. I think I really needed to have a community of people who understood what I was going through, and I needed to be around those people for a long time to relate to them, to hear them, to see myself in them, and build friendships and relationships around this thing. But I think I have now kind of moved on past the point of really needing that a lot. I think at this point in my detransition, it is something I still want to talk about, and it is something that I think is still super important to educate the public about, to share, to talk about, because people don't know this is happening. And I just think it's not going to be everything, and it is just going to be small. It's going to be small. It's little. Yeah, it's not the worst thing. It's actually a pretty good thing. It's actually like probably one of the best things that's ever going to happen to me based on everything that's come after it. So like, you know, I can't really be too mad. I can't really be too upset over it because it's pretty great. It's been, you know, I've learned a lot about myself. I've done a lot of growth, personal growth. I think I could have never gotten to this point without it mentally. Yeah, okay, so that's the video. Thank you very much to all my patrons. Thank you. I love you. I'm gonna go. If you want to subscribe and see more, that's great. I make a new one of these every week. And thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.